Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Halton Hills housing update. So we're getting in a bit of an inventory predicament here. We had really good results in June. First week of July was strong and second week was pretty strong too. And we're starting to see a bit of a slowdown in listings. So let's go through the numbers so you can see what I'm talking about. In Georgetown this week, we had 26 properties sell. 10 of them were over asking. So not only did we have a lot of sales, but quite a bit of inventory sold in multiple offer situations. We only had 22 new listings and 3 of them were relists. So technically only 19 properties entering the market in Georgetown this week. That is in a time when it already feels like we have an inventory shortage. That's a problem because we are significantly behind on listings versus sales. In Acton this week, same story with our inventory going down. We had 4 properties sell, which is a fine number for Acton. There were 3 new listings, but 2 were relists. So technically only 1 new property entering the market in Acton. So our numbers in Acton are gonna be going down as well in terms of available inventory. In Glen Williams this week, we had no sales, but we did have 3 new listings. So inventory should be up there. In Limehouse, we had no movement. And in rural Halton Hills, we had 2 sales, but we had 5 new listings. So again, our inventory will hopefully be climbing a little bit there. But same story as always with rural, it's always over $1 million. So we are definitely saturated in that price point there. Another thing I should note with rural, I had a message last week. For all those people that live in Balnafad, you are considered rural. So I just do my stats for these based on how it's broken up in our MLS system. So that's why I don't look specifically at Balnafad, but I do look specifically at Limehouse. Okay, so in terms of active listings, we are definitely down this week. We only have 118 active listings in all of Halton Hills. This is freehold and condo listings. So that number is down this week. And then our sold conditionals are at 31. So inventory is down, sold conditional, which means it's not technically still available, is up. So I think our numbers are just going to continue to look pretty scarce in terms of inventory levels. In Georgetown this week, we are down to only 74 active listings. So we do have 23 properties available under 700,000, which is higher than normal. 10 of them are in sold conditional status, but I think that number is going to drop dramatically next week when all those conditional periods are up. So where we're really struggling right now, 700 to 800,000 is down to 10 active listings and 800 to $1 million is down to 11. Both of those were at 15 last week. So we have seen a dramatic drop, and that is obviously the inventory pocket that is getting eaten up right now. Just for reference, that 800 to $1 million price point 2 weeks ago had 21 active listings, then 15, and now we're down to 11. So what we should start seeing though is the sales over $1 million start to pick up because all those people tend to be moving upwards towards that price point. Over $1 million, our inventory is down also to 30 active listings, but there's still lots to choose from over that $1 million price point. Acton inventory, no surprise based on the numbers this week. We are down to only 15 active listings, which is super, super low for Acton. So if you have something to sell in Acton, you should really be thinking about getting it on the market like stat. So Glen Williams inventory is up to 7 active listings this week, which is an okay number. Again, majority are over that $1 million price point. So higher price points in the Glen, but there is some options. And in Limehouse, we have 1 active listing. In the rural areas, we are up slightly this week to 21 active listings, but that's still down from the 26, 27 we were seeing maybe 8 weeks ago. So that is good news for the rural market. And again, like I say every week, when our inventory starts to become a situation in town, rural starts to benefit from more people starting to expand, their criteria and looking on the outskirts of town instead. So overall, another strong week. I mean, we've been anticipating the numbers of active listings dropping and available inventory dropping. We are still in a bit of a pickle in terms of the amount of bidding wars that we're seeing. So based on how much is sold conditional, I do think we're going to see a huge number of sales last week. I know a couple of the properties that sold in multiples over the weekend hadn't updated on my numbers yet. So I do think we are going to see a huge jump in sales and continue to struggle with inventory entering the market. So I'm not kidding when I say, like, if you know anyone that has been thinking about selling their property, like, don't wait. We don't know how this year is going to pan out, but right now people are getting top dollar for their property. And so it is a really good time to be thinking about selling, especially under that $1 million mark. So let's see what happens this week. I'll update you next Tuesday. Have a great week, everyone.